everyone. I wanted to show you really quickly how I did the Greek key design on my drapery panel. And this is one that's already finished. So I just wanted to show you how the design that I'm working towards. But this is a drapery panel that I'm currently working on. As you can see, I already have the first border of the twill tape on. And then just inside that, I put some painter's tape just to give me a spacer between the two. And of course, this first border is optional. You don't have to do that, obviously. And this design, you can use it on draperies, pillows, duvet covers, just about anything. Roman shades, bed skirts. Anyway, obviously the list goes on and on. So don't feel like you're just confined to using this on a drapery panel. So what I'm using is 3/4 inch twill tape. This is cotton. You can use ribbon also if that's your preference. And the tape that I'm using, I have already attached this Heat and Bond Ultra Hold. It says it's permanent. It's permanent on some fabrics, but it's not permanent on all fabrics. It has not been permanent on the fabric that I'm using, which is why on that other panel that I just showed you, I actually went over and I went over the entire thing with a top stitch. So that was very time consuming, but it was necessary. Okay, so in order to do the design, you first have to determine the size of box that you want. And I want mine to be 3 inches, which happens to be the width of this handy ruler that I use. I think this ruler is made for quilting. I love this thing. I use it all the time for sewing. So anyway, it is 3 inches wide. So I'm just going to put the ruler right against the tape that's already there. And I'm going to get another piece of painter's tape and put it right here. And then I'll do that on the other side. Okay, so that gives me my 3-inch box. And then I want to take that measurement, 3 inches, and subtract the width of the twill tape that I'm using. So that gives me 2 1/4 inches. So I'm going to put my ruler right up against that tape, right on the 1 2 1/4 inch mark. I'm going to press down here and tear that tape off. And then I'll do that on the other side at 2 1/4 inches. And I'll rip that off. And that has given me the basic pattern for my box. So my tape is going to come in this direction, up, and then it's going to form a box and come out that side and then that direction. So you want to make sure that your iron is really hot so that the adhesive sticks. And I'll go ahead and iron right up to that tape. And I have never had an issue with ironing over the painter's tape, but I would test that on a scrap piece of fabric before you do it, because you would hate for it to leave any residue on your fabric. Like I said, I've never had that problem, but please test it before you do it on your actual project. Okay, and to turn a corner, what you do is fold the tape back over on itself and crease it down. And if we're going this direction, then what you do is hold this corner, that corner right there. I just use my fingernail and fold it over to make a nice mitered corner, just like that. And you want to be sure that that is a really nice point and that the corners meet right there as well. And then iron that down. And right here, you want to just take the tape 3/4 inch past there, fold it back on itself. Since we're going this direction, you hold this corner right here and turn it back like that. And then you can iron all the way here. And once you're inside the box, then you can just continue that all the way around. And once you've done the entire square, then you work out the other side. You'll want to go 3/4 inch past, or the width of your tape or your ribbon. And really take your time on the corners. That's what's going to make or break your design. If your corners are sloppy, the whole design is going to look sloppy. And that's it. That is the Greek key design. Once you're done with the corner, you can go ahead and remove all of your painter's tape. And then I like to go back over this with my iron, just so it's laying as flat as possible. Now at this point, what you'll notice is that these little areas, they're not stuck down because there's nothing under there to stick them down. So you've got a couple of options. First of all, you can use something like this, which is a just a fabric adhesive. This is the brand I really like. It's permanent. It dries, or at least it adheres very quickly, so you don't have to sit there holding it for a few minutes. So you would just put a drop under there and then press it down for a couple of seconds and it'll lie perfectly flat. Another option that you have is you can just stitch, use your sewing machine and just stitch right along the top of the corner at an angle, and that'll hold it down. Now if you're using fabric like I'm using, where the adhesive, the iron-on adhesive doesn't work perfectly, then you might just have to top stitch. That's what I did on the other one that I showed you. I stitch along this edge and along that edge. It's time consuming, but it gives a really nice finished look, and it also holds down these corners perfectly. And then there's one other option, is just the, there's another brand that I've used. Well, I thought I had some here. It's a tape that doesn't require any heat. It's just automatically sticky, and it says that it's permanent. You could cut tiny little strips or squares or rectangles, triangles, and put them right underneath there and just press it down, and that should work as well. So anyway, that's the design. It's really pretty easy once you get used to it. And again, you can use it on so many different things.